In the last video, I covered the specifications, overview, and evaluation of the Squier Affinity 2024 Jaguar. Link to that video is in this video's description. I mentioned in the beginning of the video that I purchased a guitar specifically to modify. In this video, I cover installing all of the new parts that I identified in the last video that I wanted to upgrade. I removed the neck from the body. It just makes it easier to work on the neck and the body separately. The Gotoh tuners fit in the same 10mm tuner holes left behind after I removed the Squier tuners. The Gotoh tuners do not have the two alignment pins like the Squier tuners do. You insert the Gotoh tuners into the holes and then install the collars. Hand tighten the collars, but so you can still kind of move the tuners if needed. I then used a straight edge to align the tuners. Once aligned, I tightened them into place. After they were pretty much kind of locked in, I drilled the screw holes to the correct depth. Once you insert the screw holes and tighten them down, you then finish tightening the collars if any of them are loose. Installing the Fender USA Jazzmaster tremolo did not require any modifications. As a result, it's a drop-in component. I installed also the Fender USA Mustang bridge, but later, just before I restrung. It also did not require any modifications to the guitar, and it fit into the factory thimbles that were already installed into the guitar body for the prior bridge. Looking at the Squier pickups, when I was removing them, the one thing that I noticed was the height dimension of both the neck and the bridge pickups are about a 1/4 inch taller than a normal single coil pickup that you would find on a Stratocaster. The pickups are mounted in the pickguard. The reason the pickup is taller is so you can adjust the pickup height to specs with the bottom of the strings. The string height coming off of the bridge on this guitar will not work with a normal Stratocaster style single coil pickup. Single coil pickups are just not tall enough, and you'll bottom out on the bottom of the pickguard. You'll never be able to set the correct pickup height. Just a note, this significantly decreases the pickup upgrade options for this guitar when it comes to using single coils or drop-in replacements for pickups. Most paths that I see for upgrades require probably some modification or replacement of the pickguard. I'll walk through some of the ideas that I have for this guitar. You could install Jaguar pickups, as they are taller than a normal single coil pickup and are about the same height as the pickups that come stock in this guitar, but since these mount into the pickguard pickup holes in the pickguard are too small. You would need to mount the pickup to the body, and then you'd need to kind of Dremel out the pickguard so the full pickup was exposed like on a normal Jaguar. Humbuckers would work fine. You would need to either modify the pickguard or buy another pickguard. The stamped metal base of the humbucker has two wings with threaded holes. Usually these are about a 1/2 inch below the bottom of the pickup. As a result, you can adjust the pickup height much higher. Luckily, the Magneto Design Labs pickups are taller, but almost not tall enough. I ended up having to adjust the pickups to the fullest height that was possible. Even though I did this, I still needed to adjust the adjustable poles so they were a little bit closer to the strings. When the Magneto Design Lab pickup is at its max adjustable range, it's just within the required specs of adjustment for this guitar. If the Magneto Design Lab pickups had been any less tall, they would not have worked. This is not a problem with the pickups. It is because of the odd design of this guitar. Jazzmaster and Jaguars are not designed to have pickguard mounted pickups. I emailed Magneto Design Labs asking what the recommended components for the wiring harness, and they told me the pickups were designed and voiced to work with 250K tone and volume pots and a .047 UF capacitor. The circuit you build in this guitar is basically a Telecaster wiring harness by the components used and the design. It is the same components, including two single coil pickups. The three-way switch has the same pickup combinations, and there's a single volume and single tone control. What you have to pay attention to and be careful with is the channels in the bodies are routed kind of oddly. Each pickup wiring routing are separate and not combined, so there is a route coming off of each of the two pickups. Also, the ground wires need to be really long to feed through all of the channels into the back of the volume pot. I underestimated and ultimately had to solder on an extension to make it work. I had to drill out the 2 potentiometer holes on the stainless steel control panel so the US made components would fit. The guitar comes with smaller metric components. The imperial sized US made components won't work until you open them up with a drill. I wired the 3-position switch and the pots the same way as I said I would with any Telecaster I was building a wiring harness for. After installing all of the new parts, I reinstalled the neck and restrung the guitar. My comments and observations are the new pickups are amazingly clean sounding. I really like them, and I understand why people like these and leave them installed in their guitars. I locked down the tremolo via the locking button at the front of the tremolo. I don't use the tremolo that much. The new tuners are excellent and really do the job. I did need to adjust the intonation on the new bridge after installing it. The guitar plays great. Yes, I've put about $425 worth of components into the guitar. It brings this guitar in alignment with the Player 2 Jaguar in price and almost functionality. I'd have to give the Player 2 the medal for having a much nicer neck. Also, the Magneto Design Lab pickups are far better than the Player 2 pickups. At the end of the day, though, I don't really care because it was a lot of fun, and I ended up with a very unique and very playable guitar.